Welcome to MMA Unleashed. Your fight news, drama, and highlights unleashed. Alex Pereira fires back at Tom Aspinall's comments. Ahead of the highly anticipated UFC 320 card, former kickboxing champion Alex Pereira has found himself in the middle of a war of words with several of his upcoming opponents. This week, Pereira fired back at comments made by Tom Aspinall, who accused the Brazilian of receiving favorable matchups throughout his MMA career. During his Media Day appearance, Pereira addressed Aspinall's claims, saying, "I'm a guy who comes from kickboxing. I had no grappling experience. We're talking about the highest level of the sport. If you were to put the worst guy in the UFC against me, I'd be at a disadvantage. That makes no sense." Pereira's clapback didn't stop there, as he also took aim at Magomed Ankalaev's coach for calling him a slow kickboxer. In response, Ankalaev agreed with his coach's assessment, stating, "If this is what my coach said, then yes, I agree with it, and we're going to make sure to prove it." The bad blood between Pereira and Ankalaev stems from a previous incident at the UFC Performance Institute, where the two fighters nearly came to blows. Ankalaev recounted the encounter, saying, "My bad blood towards him started when I saw his interview where he said, 'I hid from him because I was scared of him.' So that really got me mad. I wanted to confront him and ended up running into him in a PI. So I just told him, 'You were looking for me. You thought I was hiding from you? Well, you found me.'" With the rematch between Pereira and Ankalaev just days away, fight fans are eagerly anticipating who will come out on top in this highly anticipated clash. You can watch Pereira's full Media Day interview on MMA Junkie's YouTube channel. Dan Hooker reacts to Arman Tsarukyan fight. In another notable piece of news, UFC lightweight Dan Hooker has expressed his disdain for his upcoming opponent, Arman Tsarukyan. After the UFC announced the main and co-main events for a UFC card, Hooker took to social media to react, writing, "I'll cave his head in." Hooker later elaborated on his feelings towards Tsarukyan during an interview with Submission Radio, saying, "If he comes into arm's range of me, I'm going to hit him. That's the long and short of it. And the fight's going to be off. If you put me near the guy, the fight's off. And I feel like the guy feels the same way. I'm going to try to hit him and throw at him and piss him off. The UFC wants this fight to happen, so it's on them to keep us away from each other." Hooker didn't stop there, as he went on to express his strong dislike for Tsarukyan, despite admitting he doesn't know anything about him. "I don't like his face. I don't like that his face is attached to his body, and I would love to separate the two. I don't like the blog. I don't know anything about him, but I hate everything he stands for. Can't wait to elbow him in the nose." You can watch Hooker's full interview on the Submission Radio YouTube channel. Belal Muhammad reacts to Ian Gary fight. In addition to the main and co-main events, UFC card will also feature a highly anticipated matchup between rising welterweight star Ian Gary and Belal Muhammad. Following the announcement, Muhammad took to social media to react, writing, "I asked for Conor McGregor at the White House, but this will do." With no word on when Shavkat Rakhmonov will be back in action, the winner of the Gary Muhammad fight could very well find themselves next in line for a crack at the winner of the Islam Makhachev-Alexander Volkanovski title fight. UFC updates. Merab Dvalishvili celebrates 50th clean test. Ahead of his bantamweight title fight against Corey Sandhagen at UFC 320, champion Merab Dvalishvili was presented with a Letterman jacket, celebrating his 50th clean test with the UFC's anti-doping program. In an interview, Dvalishvili expressed his pride in being a part of the UFC's efforts to keep the sport clean, saying, "When the UFC anti-doping agency is coming to my house or my gym, it's always annoying because they want, like usually after training, it's hard to go to the bathroom, or sometimes in the morning they wake you up. But of course, I'm happy I was doing this because this is important for the sport to keep it clean, and I love this, and I'm proud to be part of the UFC and part of this." You can watch Dvalishvili's full Media Day interview on MMA Fighting's YouTube channel. Frankie Edgar removed from BKFC card. In a late-breaking update, former UFC fighter Frankie Edgar has been removed from this weekend's BKFC card, where he was scheduled to face Jimmy Rivera. Although the exact reason is unclear, BKFC President David Feldman hinted that there were issues with Edgar's pre-fight medical screening. As a result, Timmy Mason will now step in to fight Rivera on short notice. Bryan Battle versus Nick Coring announced for BKFC. In other BKFC news, it was announced that Bryan Battle will take on Nick Coring, one of Nate Diaz's training partners, in the co-main event of BKFC 4 on October 30th. Dirty Boxing broke the news on social media, promising nothing but fireworks in the matchup. Nate Diaz shuts down BKFC opportunity. Speaking of Nate Diaz, BKFC President David Feldman revealed that the promotion had reached out to the Stockton native about a potential fight, but Diaz shut it down, citing concerns over his scar tissue. However, Feldman believes that if the offer was to fight Conor McGregor, Diaz would likely accept.
UFC anti-doping coming to my house or my gym, it's always annoying because they want usually after training it's hard to go bathroom, or sometimes morning they wake you up, whatever. But of course, annoying. But same time I was happy I was doing this because this is important for sport, keeps the clean sport, and I love this, and I'm proud of be part of UFC and part of this, and then you guys doing really good jobs to keep our sport clean. This is very important because it's not like running. This is we punching each other's in a pace, and we can damage somebody really bad. So our sport especially has to be clean. And thank you so much, Project Nowinski, for this. Thank you.
Is this a done deal? You're in?
Done
You made
deal,
a deal?
signed, delivered. It ain't a negotiation.
Wow.
It's a done deal, signed, delivered. McGregor will compete in the White House for UFC's for the America's 250th
Did you talk
birthday.
to Dana about it? Dana's got to sign off, I would imagine, no?
Me and Dana are in constant communications. We've done incredible business together. I'm the highest generating fighter of all time in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. They've just signed a breathtaking deal with Paramount, where we go to cable TV. $7.7 billion that deal was accrued for, and ready to rock, baby. Bring in the big dog, the Mac G.
Conor McGregor signs for UFC White House fight. In a surprising turn of events, former UFC champion Conor McGregor has reportedly signed a deal to compete on the UFC's upcoming White House card, which is set to take place on the South Lawn of the White House. McGregor, who was scheduled to appear on the Ariel Helwani show this week, backed out at the last minute. However, he later surfaced on Fox News, where he revealed that the fight at the White House is a done deal, signed, delivered. In the interview, McGregor reassured fans that he and UFC President Dana White are in constant communication and have done incredible business together. He also teased that he's taking this fight seriously, saying he's embarking on a 6-month operation of isolation to prepare for the event. I have 8 months and change out to the White House event. It's a 6-month operation. I consider it a 6-month operation to get ready for this bout period of isolation, for sure, where the phone will not be answered. All my people involved with me understand that it is coming, and as I said, it's a 6-month operation. I'm under no illusion of what lies ahead of me in my preparation efforts. The phone will be switched off and the work will be executed. That's my focus right now. I'm just eager to climb the steps into being ready for my return. There's a lot at stake, and I'm very excited at the opportunity. It's worth noting that there has been no official announcement from the UFC or Dana White regarding this White House event or McGregor's involvement. Some have speculated that McGregor may be speaking in hyperbole, as he is known to do. However, if this fight does come to fruition, it would undoubtedly be a massive event for the UFC. In the meantime, UFC fans will be keeping a close eye on any further developments regarding this potential White House showdown. You can watch McGregor's full interview on the Thick Boy Podcast YouTube channel. Dana White reveals $700,000 price tag to repair White House lawn. Speaking of the UFC's White House event, Dana White revealed that the promotion will have to shell out a hefty sum to repair the South Lawn after the event. In an interview with Sports Business Journal, White stated, "This is just one little piece I was talking about last night to replace the grass, because we're going up the South Lawn. $700K just to replace the grass." While the cost to repair the lawn may seem steep, the UFC is likely banking on the event being a massive success, both in terms of viewership and revenue. With the added prestige of hosting a fight at the White House, the promotion is undoubtedly hoping this investment will pay off in a big way.
I have 8 months and change out to the White House event. It's a 6-month operation. You know, I consider it a 6-month operation to get ready for this bout. Period of isolation for sure, where the phone will not be answered. All my people involved with me understand that it is coming. And as I said, it's a 6-month operation. I'm under no illusion of what lies ahead of me in my preparation efforts. The phone will be switched off and the work will be executed. That's my focus right now. I'm just eager to climb the steps into being ready for my return. There's a lot at stake and I'm very excited at the opportunity. I was right there with my last one. I was in incredible condition. Just a slight lapse in concentration led to an injury. I wish to correct that and show what I'm about.
Unless Yuri does like a triple backflip onto his onto a Roundtree's head, dude. Like, bar something spectacular like that, then I don't think we're seeing that fight happen.
So most of the time, our fight will be striking, right? Like even Cory Sandhagen saying that he's trying to take me down. Of course, I'm gonna get up, and then we know if I take Cory Sandhagen down, he will get up. So that's why I'm saying like the most of the time, maybe fight will be striking, and then in striking, I'm getting better. And I look really good, sharp, and then I can knock him out. You know, it's a fight, of course. So I will fight whatever fights will go, but, you know, that's my goal, to knock him out strike.
Robert Whittaker believes Carlos Ulberg deserves title shot next. Ahead of this weekend's UFC Fight Night card in Perth, Australia, former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker weighed in on the light heavyweight title picture. And he believes Carlos Ulberg deserves the next crack at the 205-pound title. Ulberg, who is currently riding a 9-fight winning streak, solidified his case for a title shot with a knockout victory over Dominic Reyes last weekend. Speaking on the Arcade podcast, Whittaker said, unless Yuri Prochaska does like a triple backflip onto a Roundtree's head, dude, like bar something spectacular like that, then I don't think we're seeing that fight happen. With Ulberg now sitting at number 3 in the UFC's light heavyweight rankings, and Prochaska and Khalil Roundtree Jr. set to square off this weekend, the path to a title shot for the New Zealand-born fighter appears to be clearing. You can listen to Whittaker's full thoughts on the light heavyweight division on the Arcade podcast YouTube channel. Merab Dvalishvili aims to knock out Cory Sandhagen at UFC 320. Heading into his bantamweight title fight against Cory Sandhagen at UFC 320, champion Merab Dvalishvili has made it clear that his goal is to finish the challenger on the feet. During his media day appearance, Dvalishvili stated, so most of the time our fight will be striking, right? Of like even Cory Sandhagen saying that he's trying to take me down. Of course, I'm going to get up, and then we know if I take Cory Sandhagen down, he will get up. So that's why I'm saying like the most of the time, maybe fight will be striking, and then in striking, I'm getting better, and I look really good sharp, and then I can't knock him out. Sandhagen, for his part, is eager to finally get his hands on the title and become an active champ. During his own media day interview, the challenger expressed his excitement at the prospect of being the one defending the belt, rather than chasing it. I'm probably more excited to be on the side of things, and to just be in the corner like, hey, you know, like I'm way more excited to be the actual guy where people have to start like chasing me like you said. So yeah, I might be more excited about that than actually being champ, because that's been my position, it feels like, for a really long time. Dvalishvili, who is currently on a 7-fight winning streak, believes that Sandhagen represents his toughest test to date. However, the champion remains confident in his abilities, saying, yes, absolutely. Cory Sandhagen has a dangerous game. Flying knee, spinning kick, submission attack, good cardio. He escapes takedowns, and then he's getting up easy, quick, lots of experience. But he's fighting me, and I'm even better version this time. You can watch the full media day interviews with both Dvalishvili and Sandhagen on the MMA Fighting and MMA Fighting YouTube channels, respectively. Khalil Roundtree Jr. aims to break UFC knockdown record at UFC 320. In addition to the bantamweight title fight, UFC 320 will also feature a light heavyweight showdown between Khalil Roundtree Jr. and Yuri Prochaska. And Roundtree has his sights set on making a little bit of history in the process. Currently, Roundtree is tied with Chuck Liddell and Shogun Rua for the most knockdowns in UFC light heavyweight history, with 14. Against Prochaska on Saturday night, Roundtree will be looking to surpass that record and cement his place as the division's knockout king. During his media day appearance, Roundtree expressed his excitement at the prospect of breaking the record, saying, "I love that. You know, like when I heard the first time that I think I was like right behind Chuck, and I think that the knockdown against Jamal or something like that kind of helped the numbers go up. I thought it was cool to be mentioned amongst Shogun Rua and a Chuck Liddell, and then to even surpass that. That would be great. That would be something that'd be proud of, and yeah, it would mean a lot to me." As MMA Junkie's Mike Bone pointed out, this record has stood for quite some time, with Shogun Rua's last UFC knockdown coming against Tyson Pedro in December 2018, and Chuck Liddell's last coming against Tito Ortiz in December 2006. With Pereira's recent win over Dominic Reyes, Roundtree may need a highlight reel finish to cement his place as the next title challenger. Thanks for watching MMA Unleashed. Smash that like button, drop your fight picks in the comments, and subscribe so you never miss the next war inside the cage.